Next card is the damage assessment card, and this is where you will record information about disturbances and damage that are affecting the heritage, place, or build component that you're recording. Click on damage assessment. So after I click on damage assessment card, that will take me to the damage assessment page, and this is a blank page where I can scroll down and add information that I need about damage assessment. Or I can click on the plus sign next to the damage assessment, and here and what that will do is that expands all the cards or nested cards that are within or inside this damage assessment that I need to fill out. The first one is disturbance, then is recommendation plan, and damage assessor. So I can either start from the top in this page and start to add information about disturbance and then add them, or I can click on the nested cards on my left side and start to add information only for disturbance here, and then continue and click on recommendation plan and damage assessor. First one is the disturbance. Disturbances are defined as current detectable events that have affected the site by human or natural forces and activities. You can identify disturbances by looking for changes to a site or feature based on comparing information from field visits with previous imagery or previous field visits reports and photographs that you might have. You can begin to fill out this information starting from disturbance cause category type field. Before explaining these fields, I just want to say that it's very important for you to note that you need to complete all the sections that I'm going to talk about, all the sections about disturbance cause, categories, certainties, dates, and all the effects that's relevant to this disturbance before to start to add a new disturbance. So bear with me. First thing you want to record is to record the disturbance cause category type. And this is where you record the broader category of disturbance cause. Ask yourself if you can identify the broad reason why a particular disturbance has occurred. For the example of my stairs and staircase in the heritage building that I was recording, I want to record the disturbance of this new modification and reconstruction of using breeze block and concrete mortar to my stairs and staircase. So the category or the reason of this cause, this reconstruction, is for domestic use. So this is the category that I'm using. And then the actual cause, the cause of disturbance is and the actual cause of disturbance, and in this field you record the specific factors or phenomena causing deterioration or impacting the heritage. And this example, this is my a reconstruction, act of reconstruction. So I choose reconstruction. Oops. Type. View word, it comes up, and then I choose it. And the certainty is definite. I know that this is the exact cause that I'm recording. And for the date fields, I know that this modification happened before my visit, but I don't know when. So if I knew the exact date, I could use the last one, disturbance that occurred on, but because I don't know, I only know that it happened before I visited the house. I use this occurred before field, and I go to find the date I visited the site. I fill out the day and month and year, September 13, 2017. And then I check, I have all my information about category, cause, certainty, and date. Then I can go ahead and add this disturbance category to my disturbance cause and its category to my record. And as soon as I hit add, you can note that on the left side in my card tree in the bold blue, now highlighted blue, now I have this cause category recorded into my record below my disturbance card. Also, you can see below this disturbance cause category that I added my reconstruction domestic use. Now there is a new card, damage observation card. And this is where you need to add all the effects or all the actual damage of this, of the disturbance that you're recording to the heritage or to the heritage place or the built component. So if I click on damage observation card, this will take me to the damage observation page, and as I said, it's a page that you record damage effects, and this is where you can record effects, severity, extent, and trend of the disturbance that you have just recorded in the disturbance category. The first one is the effect type, and this is where I can record the visible effect or impacts of disturbance causes that I recorded. And the first one I want to record are the structural alteration that this reconstruction of using cement block or concrete block bricks have had on my stairs and staircase. And the certainty, I record the certainty of my of the effect, which is definite. In the next one, severity type, in this field I record the severity of the observed effect, which is a structural alteration on my staircase. So it's this, it records the strength or intensity of the damage, which in my case is a moderate damage. And the next one, in the extent, I record the approximate extent or the size of the area that I'm assessing. Again, in this example, is the staircase, which is affected by this damage. And if I go to my example to show you the build component staircase, this damage that I'm recording is more or less around less than 30% of my whole staircase area. So if I go back to the database from the extent, I can choose 11 to 30%. And the next one, the damage trend one, I can record whether my the condition that I'm recording, whether is getting worse or better. So in monitoring condition of sites and structure, it is important to know whether a disturbance effect or whether my damage is new or it's been recorded before, and if it has been recorded before, whether the condition is getting worse or better. So in this case of the house that I'm recording, I can say that the effect is, the modification that I'm recording that is new, and the effect that I'm recording because of this modification is new. So I click on new. Then I add this effect to my cause, to my disturbance cause, and I see this effect type has appeared and recorded under my damage observation as an effect category of my disturbance cause, which was this reconstruction. I can add as much as effect as I want for this one specific disturbance. I can click here on add new to add a new damage observation. I could also, if I was here on my previous page on the recorded structural alteration effect, I could also go back to damage observation and click here on the plus, and that would also take me to a new page for effect or damage observation that could add other effects to my reconstruction. For example, for the reconstruction, one effect was structural alteration, but another effect that I want to record is the visual impact of this reconstruction to my building, to the heritage or the stairs or staircase that I was recording. Again, this is the effect type that I want to record is the visual impact. The certainty is definite. The severity, how bad is this impact, the visual impact? I would say again it's moderate. The extent, again, it covers around 11 to 30% of my staircase, and it's a new modification, or it was new when I went and I monitored the site, because I don't have any information of that being done before, so I choose new. Then I click on save my edits. Then I can see now I have two different effects for this one disturbance cause. I could go ahead and add other effects such as covering, let's say, because the cement mortar is now covering part of my old stone, and then I would click on add new, and I could add another effect to my disturbance. So this is how I create one big category or family of this disturbance. I have my disturbance cause category and I have my damage observation. But I have other disturbances that I want to record for my build component or detailed condition assessment for my build component. In order to do that, in order to add more disturbances, in the card tree, I go back to my disturbance card and I click on the plus here. And what it does is that it takes me back to the disturbance page where I can start to add a new disturbance from scratch. And also you see in the card tree that now there is a field for a new cause category that I will add information to, and also there is a new damage observation that I can start to add my effects to my cause. I'm not going to go and do that, but let's say, for example, if I wanted to add disturbance of erosion or the effects of erosion to my stair and staircase, if I'm recording the condition of my staircase, erosion is affecting my staircase. So if I go to the database, the cause of the erosion that I want to record is, I want to say that this wind and water and natural cause, disturbance cause are affecting my staircase. So the broader category are natural, and the actual cause that I want to record is wind and or water action, and there I go ahead and record what is my certainty and the date, which is date before the date that I visited the site. So this is high. I'm pretty certain that this water and wind action and natural, as part of the natural category, are the cause of natural erosion. And then I fill out my date here. Then you can save your edits. Then this is saved, and you can start to add the actual effects. And this is where you say erosion is erosion deterioration is the actual effect that do you want to record. One thing that I want to say here, there are sometimes, especially for the detailed condition assessment, when you can identify the effects, so you see what the problem is, in this example erosion and deterioration, but you don't necessarily know what caused this erosion or what caused the damage that you're recording. And in those cases, you should, for the disturbance cause, you should choose unknown from the drop-down list. Sorry, here. So you click, and this is unknown in that case. And the same, the category is also unknown. Okay, so if you know the damage but you don't know the cause, then you choose unknown here. So this is yellow because I haven't saved my erosion because it's not completed. I'm gonna go and cancel it in this case, and then, but you need to follow the same steps to continue and add as much disturbance and damage to your under your damage assessment card as needed. Another thing I wanted to say was that if you assess your site and there is no visible damage or disturbances that you want to record, then for your disturbance cause you should choose you should choose the category no visible known, and for your effect you should choose not applicable. And in this way we can see that the assessment was done, but there are no visible damage or disturbance to the site. Okay, so now I just want to delete this because I just want to record this one disturbance with causes for my record. The next card that I need to go after I finished my disturbance card is the recommendation plan. And in this card, I record the recommended actions that can be taken to better preserve the heritage and resolve or mitigate the disturbances and damage recorded above, and the priority with which the activity should be undertaken. So if I click on the first one, intervention activity type, but this is where I can say whether the recommendation that I'm giving is emergency, preventive mitigation, or conservation, restoration, and maintenance. And what I want to record here is based on the talk I had with the owner when I visited this. The house was that there was plan to do more reconstruction work to reconstruct this house. So my recommendation here is intervening with the owner and not. So my recommendation here is a preventive and mitigation activity. And the actual type of my recommendation is to intervene with the owner of the house, and the priority is within 1 to 2 years before this house is reconstructed, before the house is reconstructed. So then this is my recommendation. When I'm happy with it, I click on add, and in the next field I can record the person who did the assessment. So I need to record my name, first name, and then last name. Then I click on add, and this is how my whole damage assessment card now has information in it. I have my disturbance information, recommendation plan, and my name also as an assessor of this damage assessment has been also recorded.